being nervous and being excited are the same feeling internally. It's just how you perceive it in your mind. When you get when you're nervous and when you're excited, you get butterflies in your stomach. You kind of get that feeling. But in your mind, it's how you perceive it.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Hi, Kenz.
Hi, Kyle.
I'm tired.
Me too. Last time we were like, we never record at night, and we probably never will again because our energy's gone. And it's 8:48.
Mm-hmm.
You guys just, if you're watching, did you totally just see me squint to see the computer screen?
Nice.
I got my eyes test yesterday. What?
Yeah, did you pass though?
I mean, they said it was the same. Liar. I can't see shit.
You don't have your contacts in?
No, I do.
Okay.
Okay, if I didn't have my contacts in, this room...
Couldn't even see the mic.
No. Okay, no, I can see the mic.
I hope so. It's pretty big.
Kyle's eyes are freaking perfect, though.
2020, baby.
Literally, Kyle's eye test takes about 3 minutes. Mine takes 25.
I walk in and he's like, who wants to go first? I was like, I do. I like get up there. He's like, read this. I'm like, I went to the market. Okay, you're good. You can go home.
He doesn't even test me on that because my far sight's so bad.
Oh yeah, he doesn't even give it to you.
He's like, you don't need it. You just need the far. And then I have to go through like 80 rounds of eye tests, and I have to go in a different room. And I have to do the, okay, you guys know the thing you do at the beginning? Like the very first thing before you see your optometrist, and you like look in the little thing.
Oh, yeah.
Ours is a barn we look at, and they just like scan your eyes. I have to do that twice.
That's where they take you after?
Yeah, I do it again with him.
That's weird.
No, right? I'm like, why am I doing this again? But not the puff.
Oh.
Thank God. Hate the puff.
Yeah, then Kenzie has to get tested. Is this better? 1 or 2? 2 or 3? And then you're like, whenever I do those, I'm like, which one is the right answer? Like, if I pick 3, am I more blind?
I know, because with those, I'm like, I know. And he's like, pretty hard to tell, right? I'm like, yeah.
I don't want to say the wrong answer right now.
It's fine. The eye test is all great until he's like, okay, take your contacts out. And I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah, he's like, can you see this? No, it gets bigger. Can you see this? No, it gets bigger. Can you see this? A? No. Okay. One more.
I know, I hate that. Or I'll be like, read the smallest, like 1. And I'm like, could be a P, looks like a Z, maybe a W. And he's like...
You gotta guess.
Yeah. Like, literally, you can hear it. I'm like, T?
See, when you were doing those, they're the same. It's the same thing every time. So I was like, what if I just, like, took pictures and then just, like, memorized it? And then I'd never... Well, I guess... I'd have to need glasses, but then I could just, like, scan the system a little bit.
If you guys don't want glasses, there you go. Kyle just told you.
Kenz, I walked 3 hours today.
I don't know why.
I was reading this book last week.
Of course you were.
Yeah, and it was about, like, how modern technology is, like, influencing us.
Yeah.
And in one of the chapters, it was, like, talking about disconnecting from technology every once in a while. And it said, I forget who it was, it's some, like, recognizable person, but they were saying, like, they walked, like, around 2 to 3 hours a day to, like, they just, like, are in their own heads and their own thoughts. So I was like, I had a pretty easy day today, so I was like, I'm just gonna, I had to go to the gym, so I decided to walk back from the gym, and then I had to go pick up a book from the library. So then I walked there, and then I kept walking, and then it got dark, and I was like, okay, I should go home.
See, I agree with that completely. Like, in the summer, or before we went to Muskoka for, like, that little over a month period, I used to walk every day. I'd wake up in the morning, I'd have lemon water, and then I'd go walk for 2 hours. And, like, it was great. And it was so good, and it was, like, kind of like meditating without the boringness.
Mm-hmm.
And, sorry, that could have been offensive to people who like meditating. I just don't like meditating. But, no, I really liked it. But, see, like, not enough for it to be absolutely freezing and doing, like, it was cold today. Like, the walking outside I did was from whatever location it was at to my car, and that was already too much for me. Like, I was freezing.
Yeah, I just, like, I knew I was going for a walk, so I just threw on, like, 4 different layers and just bundled up.
That doesn't work for me anymore.
But I was, like, going to take pictures, too, and, like, I saw something cool, and it was so cold out, and I had these little mittens on that weren't really doing that much. So I was like, is it really worth it to get, like... I was like, okay, I'll try it. And then after 5 minutes, I literally couldn't feel my fingers, so I was like, okay.
I think of that all the time. Like, not all the time, but I think of that. When I used to hang out with my ex-boyfriend and he would take pictures in the winter, I literally would look at the man's hands and be like, how?
It hurts. It definitely hurts.
How do photographers do it? Or like, I just think of like wedding photographers in the winter, like.
It's okay if you can get away with gloves, but a lot of like going through the settings and stuff, you need like a touch screen, or if you're gonna like focus on something, you'll have to press a touch screen, and then you'll go to press it with your glove and it just won't work, and then you have to like get your glove off, and by that time you probably just missed it.
No, I could not, because you see me, I'm driving less than 5 minutes, I got a hat on, I got mitts on, I got like a huge ass jacket on, like I get so cold, especially my hands. My hands get cold in like the summer.
Yeah, same. My feet.
Yeah, my feet are always freezing.
I was getting a massage a couple weeks ago.
I always have to warn them.
I didn't warn them, but I was getting a massage, and then she went to like finish my legs off my feet, and she's like, oh, like, do you want the heaters on your feet? They're really cold.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, they're just like that.
I know, they always ask me that too, because like before she'll like, when she starts going to my legs, I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm like, that's I'm just gonna give you a little warning here. My feet, they're gonna be cold, but that's just the way they are. But I usually say yes. Like when they ask, I'm like, yeah, give me the heated blanket. I want that.
See, I didn't even know. I don't think I've ever gotten the heated blanket, so I really didn't know what it was. I was kind of like, I don't know.
It's good. It's just like a little like pouch, and they just like put it on. They put it like the blanket, and then on top of the blanket.
Oh.
And then like. It's good because like I don't really feel that my feet are cold anymore, but then once I have something warm on them, I'm like, whoa,
same.
They were cold.
Yeah, really.
So that's really nice. Oh my god, I haven't gotten a massage in a minute. I want a massage.
Well, I'm old now, so I don't get covered.
That sucks. I get covered.
Remember the days.
The good old days. Oh, this is so boring, but this has been exciting for me. So, as you guys know, all I talk about is food and eating, and I've been lost. And wow, was that pretty good?
That was pretty good.
Did anyone else
sing that?
Guys, I'm so good. Anyways, so I started eating the exact same way I did in the summer, because that's when I was like killing it. I think that was my peak. Like, I swear, guys, summer. I looked great, my hair looked great, my eating was great, like, oh, it was so good. Anyways, so I started that routine again. So good.
What is it?
Great.
Explain.
It's just, I just went back to Kenzie Burke ways. It's just controversial, but that's what made me feel good originally. And it's just so much better. Like, I wake up in the morning and make a smoothie, but I'd make it like, it's just not, like, the smoothies I've been making have had so many ingredients, and I noticed that suddenly, like, everything I make is just so many ingredients, and the simpler you eat, the better it is for you, and the better it is for your digestion. Makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
So instead of making like 8 million ingredients in my smoothie, I literally just do spinach, banana, mango, and coconut water. That's it. And
that's good.
It's so good. It's like, it's so good, and I had it every day for like 3 months. Like, every morning, wake up, never would change it. And then I came home, and my eating just kind of went different because of moving from summer to here is a big change. And then, yeah, I just went back on it, and it's so much better. And now I get to have like avocado toast again, my second breakfast, and it's so good. I love it.
I don't think I've ever gone away from. I literally just do strawberries and spinach. That's just it.
That is so boring.
It's so good though. And then the protein powder that we use is vanilla.
Yeah.
So it's like strawberry vanilla. Delicious. But it looks green.
You should try, or one day I'll make you like my protein smoothie.
Well, what'd you say? You just had mango and banana?
Mine, no. That's just my normal smoothie. My protein shake smoothie. I mean, I haven't been drinking it, but like the one I posted on my blog, go check that post out. So good. By far, like, I mean, it's way better than this one. It's like, I'll make it for you because the toppings on it, it's so good.
Sprinkle some cinnamon.
Isn't that like a thing?
Salt Bay.
Yeah.
Cinnamon Bay.
I love cinnamon. And back on my matcha, it's just good. Internally, feeling good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, Kenz, we haven't really talked about like who we are, where we came from.
I know we kind of just like started, but like people are. I mean, like some people don't even
know who. There's some random people. We get some listeners from like Mexico, We actually got some listeners from like Hungary.
Yeah.
Like,
see, like our mom travels to Mexico a lot, and she shows our podcast when she's there. So, hello, people who know my
hello,
mom.
but you don't know us.
But we heard of you.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about us now.
Yeah.
Little introductions.
It's like the introduction episode that we.
It's 5 episodes too late.
Yeah, it's a little late, but here we are. It's great.
So we're from Mississauga.
Mississauga,
Soggy Land.
the soggy land.
It's a little suburb. Well, it's a pretty big suburb actually.
I was like,
it's like 700. It's a city.
Mississauga is huge, but we grew up in a little suburb
in suburbs.
Mississauga. We are suburbians.
So we're about half hour out of Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
In a suburb that's a part of a city. There's like a bunch of suburbs that make up the city, I would say. That's how I would describe it.
Yeah.
It's like a GO train ride away, which is like the whatever municipal train that takes you around.
I love where we live.
I love where we live too. I didn't really appreciate where we live until I got older.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like normal to be able to walk to a train station to go downtown or have this huge like Great Lake beside us that we can just stroll around to.
Our location is so key, or even going to like the other suburbs around us. I'm like, nothing's like ours.
Yeah, ours just is, it's one of the first, I don't know if it's the first, but it's an older one.
Yeah.
So it's like more established. It's got bigger like land properties. It's more spread out, more unique.
In each one I go to, I'm like, this is missing. But like in ours, like we have like everything you need. And the location is just so key to everything.
Yeah. And we have like a downtown strip. I mean, that doesn't really matter growing up really, but there's like a strip that pretty much all of like the city kind of comes to.
Yeah, like.
And it's right around the corner from us.
Literally, like people from Toronto come to our suburb to go out.
Yeah. And like the next like town over like comes. And like growing up, I never really like realized this or appreciated this. I just thought that like, oh, that's just like the thing to have in your little suburb is like a main downtown strip near the lake.
I know the lake, you don't really appreciate the lake until you go somewhere where you're not living by a lake.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even imagine it. Like, I can't picture me living somewhere where I can't walk to a body of water.
Yeah. Even if it's just, like, the lake we live by is huge.
Yeah.
But even if it's just, like, a small little some, like,
Yeah.
in the summer, there's nothing really better than if you just want to go for a bike ride. As soon as I think I want to go for a run or I want to go for a bike ride, I just go south until I hit water.
It's, like, so pretty. Mm-hmm. Like, I definitely took it for granted until I went to York. And I wasn't living at home and I didn't have water around me and I was literally in like a concrete jungle. I was like, oh my God, this isn't like just a university. Like a lot of people live like that. Like that's just like.
And it's crazy because it's literally just like 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
It's like 2 highways away.
I know. People would be like, why do you go home every weekend? And I'd be like, it's so much better. Like, what do you mean? Why would I want to stay in this place where there's nothing to look at? Like, not even a tree. When I could go home by the water where it's like where we live is also like full of greenery. Like we have so many trees, which we're so lucky about. And it's so nice. And our community is just great. Like everyone's very friendly where we are. Super nice. I mean, it can be a little cliquey. Yeah. But
it's on a higher end, upscale, I guess, neighborhoods.
Yeah. It kind of like ranges. Because like half of it is like more... how would you put it? More normal.
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Pretty much, again, like I said, that's an older suburb. So you have like the original houses, which is like ours.
Yeah.
Ours has been like renovated and updated over the years, but
it's still
the whole size and everything is from like the 50s or something.
Yeah.
And then now, since like property prices are so high, people just come in and just tear down the old 50s houses and build like 3-story mansions.
Yeah, so there's like a variety of people. So like, the higher end, there's like, it can be a little snobby, but then there's like people like our houses and there's like in between, like you really get a variety of everyone here. But I honestly really love it. And I don't realize how much I love it till I leave it. Like when we get back from Australia, we're going to probably be like, oh.
Yeah. And then we're like,
okay,
bye. I'm going back.
Nothing beats Muskoka summer. Nothing.
And just, maybe Australia will just be awesome.
And then we'll just move there.
The other thing that's underrated just in general is just the suburbs.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd choose anywhere else
I would never, ever, ever want to not live in a suburb.
Especially like growing up, people I know that grow up in Toronto are just
messed
are
up.
just weird.
Like, your childhood is just completely different. Like, your childhood in a suburb is so ideal. Having your friends, like, near you all the time. Everyone's so kind. Like, even as a parent's perspective, like, for instance, like, we had so much freedom as kids, like, even just, like, going on bike rides by ourselves or, like, playing outside without, like, having our parents, like, breathing down our neck because, like, in the suburb, like, everyone's looking out for each other. And, like, everyone's nice and, like, you're fine. Like, it's not like in Toronto, you're not going to be like, go on a bike ride.
Yeah, like, even in just, like, walking to school, you gotta pass, like, you could pass anything. You're near grocery stores, like, corner stores, all those stuff. Like, if you just, I remember going down to Toronto when we went to, like, Kensington Market, which is market downtown. There's a public school, like, in the middle of this.
Yeah.
And across from it is, like, a massage parlor. And it's, like, these people probably live in, like, the condos and have to walk through all these sketchy Toronto people.
Yeah, it's just, like, being in the suburb. Like, I can think of examples, like, walking home from school, I fell off my bike, say, and I, like, started crying and I cut my knee. There'll be, like, a mom that's, I don't even know.
Neighborhood watch.
Literally come out, clean up my knee, give me a Band-Aid, make sure I'm okay, and, like, either will offer to drive me home or, like, just be good, or, like, say, like, mom's late picking me up or something, which is never, but if something goes wrong, like, there'll absolutely be a parent that will drive you home. Like, everyone is just, it's a really good community in suburbs, and I was like, I'd never want to be somewhere else.
Yeah, I remember our rule for our parents was once we hit 4th grade, then we were allowed to walk to school by ourselves.
Yeah.
And, like, go around. So what's 4th grade? Like, 9 or something? 9?
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy.
Well, I was younger because you were in 4th grade. So you walked me to school.
I walked you, so you were in
I was in 2nd grade, so I was literally like 6 or 7.
Just walking by yourself.
Just like, let's go, Kyle.
But that's what I was saying. It's not like I was just entrusted to walk you there. It's not like I had to, like, protect you from anything because that wasn't gonna happen.
Just because I'd probably get lost.
Yeah.
Even though it was literally straight.
It's just straight. It's literally you turn the corner off our side street and you just walk straight.
And then you'll hit the school. No, it was so good. I literally love where we live.
Also, like, curfew. I mean, this is probably family-wise, but I know, like, where we lived affected it. But, like, we never had a curfew growing up.
No, I know. It's kind of bizarre. If you really think about it.
I think your parents are just really trusting.
Well, yeah, like, I know people who are like, my dad said I have to be home by midnight, but, like, our parents were literally like, be quiet when you come in.
Yeah.
Remember to lock the door.
I think after, like, 9th grade, I was just like, I'm going. And they're like, okay, see you later. The door's open.
They're like, see you in the morning. We'll leave the door open for you.
I was like, okay.
Some nights I'd be home by, like, midnight. Some nights it'd be, like, 4 a.m. And I would just be like, hee hee.
Yeah, but see, I think where we live also affects that. Yeah. Because before this house, you were, like, just born.
Yeah, I don't even remember
I don't even remember. I was, like, 3 or something. But we live, like, in Erin Mills, which is just, like, another suburb. But we live, like, near a park, and this park was, like, kind of sketchy, and the neighborhood wasn't, like, as nice.
Yeah.
So I don't think we would have had the same freedom as where we live now.
Yeah, definitely. Like, when I grow older, location will be everything. Because especially now that we grew up in such a, like, we're so blessed to grow up in this lovely place, I can't imagine anything less.
For sure. Like I said, like, I think our parents were just another big part of that. Because I know, like, when I went and visited our friend in LA, this is just him. Like, he's kind of, like, in the suburbs of LA, but it's still, like, LA. And they're, like, but just, like, a general consensus, like, everybody's curfew is, like, 10:30 p.m.
Like, that's so early.
But that's just because it's, like, they're in LA. Like, LA is kind of hit or miss on the people there. And even though they're in, like, a nice kind of, like, community, like, higher-end community, it's still, like, you should probably be home before it's completely dark.
Yeah. Or even just thinking, like, sports and stuff. Like, growing up playing, like, soccer here. Imagine, like, if you want to play soccer in, like, Toronto or in, like, LA. Like, it's so different. Like, here we went to, like, local schools and little parks, and, like, you all knew your soccer team. And, like, in, like, Toronto, like, what would being on a soccer team be like there? Where would you play soccer?
Like, just like a pickup game?
Just like, no, like, or if you played hockey.
Yeah, there's
or
no
if
like
you-
fields in Toronto.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Like recess, I guess you just play on like the gravel.
Yeah, or even just like, and like knowing people from like Vaughan compared to here. Vaughan's also like a town city.
Yeah, it's like a separate city north of Toronto.
Yeah, like it's not in Toronto, but it's still city-like. Like knowing people from Vaughan and like visiting them and their upbringing is totally different, and they're like 20 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then you go like even far, far north, like Barrie.
Oh god, and like it's completely different.
So you go like Barrie's like an hour north of Toronto. So you're kind of like on the outskirts. There's still like one train that you can take in.
Yeah.
But then like anything north of that, like you're taking the north bus.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like the difference if you just like go around between like 20 minutes to an hour of everywhere between us, everyone acts so differently. Like you're just raised completely differently.
I would say like like every 15 minutes of driving is like a new culture.
Like literally even just like where I spin versus here, which is literally a 15-minute drive, the people there completely different. The teenagers there completely different. And like I go to I've been to parties with the same people. Like they're so close that like it's kind of connected, but like still so different.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Pretty diverse.
I know, but I'm so thankful that we grew up where we did.
Another good thing about where we lived is that our school, well, all our schools to be honest, but mostly like our high school is right around the corner, like right across the street.
Our high school was literally a 2-minute walk, not drive, walk.
To put this in context, I have this story where I was supposed to do a presentation for my like grade 11 class, and I forgot my laptop to like hook up to the PowerPoint for whatever. And so I asked my teacher to go to the washroom at the beginning of the class, and I sprinted home, got my laptop, got my charger, sprinted back, probably in under 5 minutes.
Yeah, I've done that so many times. Grade 9, it was a lab report due. I was like, oh my god, I never printed it, and it's on my computer at home. I was like, can I go to the washroom? Ran home, printed it, came back, and like teacher literally was like, oh, Mackenzie, you were so fast in the bathroom. And I was like, yeah.
Did you like high school?
Hit and miss.
Yeah, we have pretty different
Kyle and I have very, 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 very different experiences. Kyle's grade was amazing, and ask anybody in his grade. Like I work with someone in his grade, and like she totally agrees. Like she's like, yeah, we had a really good grade. Like the people were just so good. Like you guys were like every.
Here, we'll go to me after, but explain your feelings on high school.
High school. Now that I'm out of it, I miss it, and I didn't appreciate it as much when I was there. But when I was there, grade 9 and 10 were good. Grade 11, I had a lot of issues with friends. And then grade 12, I was just like straight up alone most of it. So for me, it wasn't great just because I didn't really I found a good friend group, but I didn't have like the friend experiences that you did. And I didn't really like connect with the school, and just like, I didn't have that great high school feeling. Like I look at high school YouTubers now, and I'm like, I'm so jealous. Like, now I'm glad I didn't vlog in high school, because my vlogs literally would be like, I'm eating alone, studying. I mean, my grades were great in high school because they literally all I would do was study, but I just didn't have that experience. Like, I didn't get that high school experience, which I'm honestly really sad about, but I mean, what can you do? I'm still glad. Like, I look back at a lot of parts of high school, and I'm like, oh my god, that was so fun. Oh my god, I missed that. But I definitely didn't have like that good of an experience, simply because of friend problems and stuff. But yeah, I mean, like, I look at like my photography class, and I loved that. Like with my best friend Ankita. Is she listening? Hey, Ankita. And I look back at like some of my classes and some like parties, and I'm like, oh, that was so fun. But definitely like senior year, I can't think of like anything good. That was brutal. And then I think just, when my friends went down, so did I. But my high school experience was like a 60% as a grade. Like it was
solid C.
Like it was like a solid C. Like it was like, like you're kind of close, but like you're not there.
You're not there, yeah.
Yeah. I loved English class.
That's good.
I loved it.
English is probably my worst
I
class.
literally like when I was figuring out what I wanted to do this year, I was like, I wonder if my English teacher would let me just like go back to her class every day. Like if I could just retake her English class.
It's probably good.
Yeah, but now I'm glad I didn't do that. Because then like, could you imagine trying to apply for a job? So I have high school English from 9 to 10 and
Well, I mean, like, you could just, like, help her out or be a little assistant.
oh, but I'm
or
not
something.
good at English.
You just like it?
I just love it.
I just like the teacher.
I love the teacher and I just love English. I love English. Novel studies, love those. Writing essays, like, not good at it. Like doing it.
It's just weird. I'm terrible at English, yet I love to read.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I love reading.
I don't like writing, I guess.
And I loved just learning it. But, like, I mean, I think I got, like, an 83 or 84. So, like, still pretty good. I mean, depends on who's listening. To me, that's pretty good. But some people would say that's an awful grade. But that was just because I studied a lot. I'm bad at writing. Look at my blog. It's literally like, what's up, guys? Like, I could never be a set-up writer. Yeah.
But my high school was probably, like, a 9.7 out of 10.
I was in high school looking at Kyle's high school experience, and we go to the same school. And I was like, I want it.
What she means by that is you're just looking down the hall.
I was looking at my brother down the hall from my locker, and I was like, I want it.
See, my high school was so great because every year was so different. Like, grade 9, I was, like, a huge nerd, but I had, like, my group of nerd friends. Yeah, I had my group of, like, 4 or 5 friends who we just literally play video games, like, 3 hours a day. And then I go to hockey and stuff. I wasn't going to the gym yet or anything. But I was loving life because I had such a close group of friends, and we just play video games. And, like, on the weekends, like, we'd have, like, sleepovers, I guess, and just, like, game all the time. And it was awesome.
See, I envy that so much because I never had that friend group.
Mm-hmm. See, so you can make fun of me, but I was having a good time, even though I didn't leave my room. But then, like, grade 10, so those were, like, grade 9 was, like, a lot of, like, newer friends. And then grade 10, a lot of, like, my really close, like, elementary school friends who moved away came back simultaneously. So then we hung out, but it was, like, just, like, the 4 or 5 of us. And, like, that's the only people I hung out with, like, that whole time, pretty much. And we were pretty nerdy, too. Slightly, a little bit less.
Getting less nerdy, but still on the nerd side.
But still on the nerd side. Like, we go and play Rock Band for, like, an hour or two after school every day.
Do you remember? I remember coming home from school in, like, 8th grade and being like, when are Kyle's friends coming over? Are we going to play Rock Band?
Yeah. I don't know. We got really into Rock Band for some reason. But it was awesome. Like, we were just having a good time. We didn't care about girls just because we couldn't get them, pretty much.
True.
So that was just, like, off the table. So we're like, whatever. And, like...
Plus, like, no offense to guys, but, like, guys don't get attractive till, like, mid-grade 11.
Yeah, so we're just doing our own thing.
Yeah.
And then grade 11 is when we started to, like, I guess, go out to parties and stuff. Was another good thing about my high school experience is that, like, I kind of fit in with everybody.
Yeah.
No, I was never, like, hated by any group. Like, I had, like, my group, which I was, like we were the closest. But if there was, like, another group of friends, like, no one, like, would be appalled if I, like, showed up for lunch or something. Like, no one disliked me, which is another good thing. So I could get along with everybody. So if I was in the class with some person, like, and I needed a partner, no one would, like, shrug their shoulder at me.
Yeah.
Which I guess is just, like, I don't know, just being nice. But then, so grade 11 was just, like, more, we'd, like, go to parties, socialize a little bit more. We started, like, bringing more friends into our friend group. And then grade 12 was just my favorite year by far because for some reason between grade 11 and grade 12, like, you had, like, your groups of friends. And then grade 12 in my grade, pretty much just, like, everybody was just like, this is our last year.
Yeah.
Let's just all be friends.
Your senior year looked so good. I remember being in grade 10 looking up being like, what the heck? Like, why is that so good? And I'm here with my 15-year-olds.
Like, all the cliques and stuff, just, like, we're like, screw it. Like, let's just all be friends. Just all have a good time. Like, you go to parties, and, like, people I talked to, like, once or twice would, like, come up to me, like, oh, Kyle, like, so glad to, like, see you. Like, everyone was just, like, having a good time. Yeah. And that was just, like, it just made high school because everyone just, like, loved to be there. Everyone just loves having a good time.
Yeah. I didn't have that.
I got my, like, first relationship, so that was, like, a pretty good thing as well.
Oh, yeah. That was so cute.
I had a prom date, which is nice.
I had a prom date, and then I had my best friend.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just like I loved high school, and then I was so, I guess then going to university after my gap year. University is just like so different from high school, which I kind of see a pattern where people who like really love high school tend to not really like
It's
university.
so true.
And the opposite is like people who didn't really like high school like university a lot more. I liked high school because one, you had like small classes, everyone kind of knew each other, everyone hung out, you're kind of on the same schedules. And then university, there's like 20,000 kids, depending where you go.
Yeah.
I'd like every class would be some random people that were like okay people. Everyone was on different schedules. You barely knew anyone. Like you go to a party and you wouldn't really know anybody.
I liked high school so much more. When I went to university for a year, I was like, this is not it. And even like now working at Coffee Culture, I get a lot of high school students like coming in. I like their lunch and I'm literally like, I'm so jealous of you. Like you have no idea how good it is. I wish I could just be on lunch with my friends and going to Coffee Culture just for the day, like just for fun. I'm like, you like this, like these little things, like you're gonna miss so much.
That's the one thing about high school that I think is so overlooked is that everybody is on the same schedule.
Yeah.
No matter what, you finish at this, well, whatever, spares and stuff, but like most of the time you have the same lunchtime, you have the same like finish time. So you're always like, you know when your free time is, like maybe you'll play sports or stuff, but generally everybody like can line up their schedule easy.
Yeah.
Now it's like one person's got work from 2 to 10, the other person's gonna be away on a trip, the other person's like, oh, he's doing an exchange. Like it's just everyone's all over the place now.
Literally, like I see my friends now like once every few weeks because all of our schedules are so crazy. And I mean it's hard because they're in school, I'm a full-time job now, they have other friends and they work and I have priorities and it's crazy. You definitely take it for granted. And even just like extracurriculars, you take for granted so much in high school. Like in university, it's so different.
One of the saddest things when I was leaving high school was gym class. And my last day of gym class, I loved like it's a boy. Like I love gym class so much.
I loved gym class too, but mine
and
girls' gym class didn't last.
Like I knew no matter where I was going to uni, like I was never gonna have a gym class again. Like yeah, I have extracurriculars, but like gym class was just the best. I just loved it.
I loved gym class.
So I got really sad, and I was like, "This is my last gym class ever."
I was so sad because like in our school there was a thing called leadership, and it was basically just like gym class to another extent. But I was in the strings program, and in order to be in leadership, I couldn't do both. And if I did the strings, I liked it, and it was a really easy grade, and I went to the class once a week. So I was like, I'm not leaving this program. Plus, like, I was already in it for 2 years. Why would I leave it then? But so yeah, but then like there was still girls' gym, but I think only like around 8 girls out of the whole grade actually liked gym class, and that's not enough to keep our class running. So it stopped after grade 10.
So then we got to university after already taking a year off, which was like kind of a sign that I was like, I don't know. Whenever I toured universities, I never got the feeling that I was like, I can't wait to spend 4 years here. Like I know a lot of people that it could be like fake now too though, but like we'll be like, oh, like I just love the campus, I love the feel. And like I toured like pretty much every university in our area, well not area, but like within like 3 or 4 hours of where we live, and like not one of them I was like, oh, like this is so nice, like I can't wait to learn here.
Yeah, every single place I went, I was like, it's literally just a building. I don't know why. I don't feel it. Like, I was like, I'm going to Laurier. Like, in grade 11, I was like, that's where I'm going to go. And then I went to Laurier, and I was like, I hate this campus. And I was like, I'm not going here. And then I was like, I'm going to McMaster. That's the one. And I went to Mac, and I was like, I don't like it here either. And then in grade 12, I was like, you know what? We're just going to do dance. And then I, like, went to Ryerson, but I hated their dance program. And I was like, guess I'm going to York then. There's no other option, even though York is, like, the ugliest campus of all of them.
Yeah.
But, yeah. University is tricky, too, because, like, sometimes I'll watch my old vlogs at school, and I'm like, oh, like, my dorm. But never, ever, ever could you pay me to go back there.
Yeah. And I know like tons of people are having a good experience, but I just live my university experience through them. Like the only one that I really like enjoy is Western.
I've never been to Western.
And
I feel like I'd really like Western, but it's too
maybe
smart for
I don't
me.
know. You can say that about anything.
Western's the only school that I've actually like. I've never been there, but like I've looked at people's experiences.
Okay, you gotta go there first.
And their campus online, and that's the only school where I'd be like, I think I'd like this.
Yeah.
But I'm not smart enough.
But I just like I'll go visit London. That's the town Western's in. Like I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times a year, and I just live my university experience through that. It's the best part. You just go and have fun and party and socialize, and I don't have to do the work.
I don't have friends, so
You can follow me around.
I literally that's what I do.
I swear I told you to come last time I went.
I worked.
In September?
Yeah.
That sucks.
I know.
It was a good time.
Literally, this podcast, Kyle's like, I did this. I was working. I did this. I was working. I swear, I'm always working, but it's because I need money.
It'll be worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually.
It's like, Australia.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm
That's why I said it's gonna be worth it.
I just can't wait. No. That sounds bad. I'm really excited for Australia, but when we come back from Australia, I'm excited to have that, like, I can spend money. Like, I'm so excited to buy clothes and...
Okay, we're off topic.
Yeah, okay, sorry. University.
Another reason I didn't like university is just, I kind of said this in the high school thing, is that I really enjoy learning, like, really condensed and being able to have, like, one-on-one with teachers. And all my classes, I mean, this could just be a first-year thing. Like, I know it gets smaller after, but, like, we're, like, 500-600, like, even 1,000, like, person lectures.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know. Especially if it's not interesting, like, learning stats and, like, economics. Like, I almost fell asleep. Like, it was terrible. And you could just go to the back of class, not pay attention. I just can't learn like that.
For me, I don't think there's a really preferred learning style I have, just because, once again, like when I was at York, I didn't really make many friends. Like I met like a few that I really liked, but I didn't really have a friend group or anything. So I had so much spare time that, like, no matter how you were teaching me, I just would study all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like learning in classrooms. Like online classes, I feel so much less motivated to work. Like I like being in a room and learning that way, whether it's a high school or a lecture didn't really matter to me, just because I have to get into a mindset where I'm like, focus, like look, like I have to like literally like stare at what I'm looking at, like stare at the professor and be like, what is he saying? Okay. So didn't really matter to me, but I couldn't sit with like people who weren't like that too. Like if I sat with my friends, it's so hard to learn.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I'm pretty self-driven, but I don't know, man. There's just something about it. Are you okay?
Sorry guys, my feet are asleep and they're tingling so hard right now.
I'm like trying to explain why I don't like learning, and Ken's just looking into my eyes and like, help me.
It's because I was sitting cross-legged and now I'm like, oh my god. And I'm like, I love learning. But no, I actually really do love learning. Learning is, I do miss the classroom in a sense. Like I'm if I do go to school, I'm excited to like get back to that. But I know that's going to last for one day and I'm going to be like, fuck to school.
I would go back to school if it was like something where, one, I saw value in going back to school.
Yeah.
Not just going back to school to, like, I feel like a lot of people just go to school to get a degree because they think they need it or something like that. And I would never go back just to get a degree.
Yeah.
And I'd go back to school if it was something like I was truly like intrigued about. Yeah, general business just wasn't doing it for me. And like photography, like a lot of people are like, oh, why don't you go to school for photography? And I don't see the value in going to school for photography, just because I think a lot of learning photography is just through experience.
Yep.
And just through trying like new things. Like I've learned more from just like going for walks and taking pictures and experimenting and stuff like that, talking to people, than watching like YouTube videos.
Plus, like, what famous photographers were like, I went to photography school?
Yeah. I feel like a lot of photographers...
They're self-taught.
Yeah. Or like failed photography class.
Yeah. No, literally. Like, like photographer I know did horrible in photography class in high school, and now he's like a legit photographer.
So that's the thing. For the arts, like, yeah, I know obviously if I went to school for photography, I like learn a lot about like lighting and all that stuff, but I don't know. I just don't see the value. I think the arts is a lot of it is just like self-expression and doing things for yourself. And
When it's forced, you lose interest in it. Like when I went to school for dance, I hated dance.
yeah,
Because like I want to dance and I want to express myself when I want to. And then waking up at 8 a.m. being told, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this for 3 hours every single day. No. I was like, I don't want to do this.
because it's not art. Art is like self-expression. When you have to put like guidelines and deadlines and everything
Grades.
on art, maybe not deadlines, but like, yeah, like it's like constantly being assessed and everything, then it's not really art. It's like, it's just
No, it was
a project.
for dance, like it was so demeaning. Like I had never felt so insecure in my life because every day I'd walk in and they'd literally be like, you suck, you're never gonna make it, why are you here? And I'd be like, this is my passion.
It's a terrible way to teach.
Yeah. And like I'd literally come home or come back to my dorm and be like, I'm so bad. Like, why am I doing this? And then I'd go back the next morning, try again. Like, you have to be so mentally strong to go into an arts field because it's hard. Like, it's harsh out there. And then, like, honestly, that just made me lose any spark I had for it. And the only reason I went to school for dance was I never wanted to be a dancer. I've never wanted to be a dancer and performing on stage and going on Broadway. I always just wanted to be a dance teacher. Because I used to look up to my dance teacher and be like, oh my God, like that's exactly what I want to be. Then dropped out of York, got a dance teaching job anyways, went there for literally a month and I was like, I hate this. So thank God I realized that dance wasn't for me because I would have got my degree, got a dance teaching job, and then realized I didn't like it and been like, what am I going to do with a freaking degree?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I think learning through experience is more influential than just learning through like a textbook.
Yeah, like literally the job I got was like my dream job. Like that was what I wanted to do. And I got it when I was like 19. And then I had it and I was like, no.
Another alternative, I think, to learning, like going, at least for photography and just like the arts in general, is like going through a mentor, finding somebody who wants to like portray their skills onto another and take someone under their wing. I think it's like, I know people say it all the time, but like why I learned from someone who's like, a lot of the teachers have never been like their profession. They just, they did their school and then like they went back to school to teach. So they, like most photography people, I feel like are like that.
Yeah.
So if I really want to learn like portrait photography, like why, instead of going to school under some random professor, why wouldn't I find a very skilled portrait photographer and learn under them?
Yeah, like even I like sat down with the owner of Spinco Oakville and just like let her like asked her how she did everything she did and she like walked me through it all. And I learned so much more about running a business just by sitting with her than I would have like sitting in a classroom and a professor trying to explain it to me. And it's so much easier because like when you're learning in a classroom setting, you can't really like you can ask questions but you can't get like in depth in the questions and the answers you want. When you're mentoring, you can get so specific and so personal. And like each person is different. So like if you can go through so many different people and learn through all their experiences too. And get different perspectives, which is nice.
I bought like so many people like just coffee and just picked their minds.
Yeah.
Like even, I honestly don't remember one thing I learned in being at school for 4 months, but I'll remember like that conversation I had with 20 minutes with that entrepreneur who made it.
Yeah. I can remember some things in school, but I was in dance school, so like it was like, ooh, catch me with that lighting. Like, oh my God, that was a weird class. But yeah, no, I don't know. I think learning through experience, like for example, I jumped into a manager position with very underskilled. Like I was not prepared to be a manager whatsoever, and I probably shouldn't have been. But I learned so much from those 3 months of managing than I can't think of anywhere else I would learn that. Like even now, any job I'm at now, I have so much back knowledge. Like today we were putting an order in and literally I was like, you should be ordering more milk because like we're going to get busy on the weekends. So you should probably get 2 more crates. And like I have so much knowledge now that I never had before. Learning through experience in that sense, like I would have never known the background side of business without actually being in it. Like there's so many, like you can go to school and they'll teach you about it, but like there's so many little things you don't know about and you won't remember what you learned at school, but I will remember freaking out like over so many little things being a manager. And that was all, that was like really pushing myself. Like I was so scared and I didn't really want to be manager, but I was like, this is going to look really good on my resume and it's a really great opportunity, so I should do it. And now I'm so glad I did. One, it's really easy. It's a lot easier for me to find jobs having that on my resume. Like I could apply basically anywhere. They're like, you're a manager? Okay. And push my anxiety a ton. You'll learn the most if you push yourself out of your comfort zone. For me, at least, like the moments that I think that I've experienced and learned the most is when I was uncomfortable.
I agree. It's really and nerve-wracking, I guess, leading up to it. But after an experience where you're just like, that I've never done that before,
Yeah.
or I wasn't expecting like anything from it, like you're just way better off from it.
Like for me, having major anxiety, if I feel anxious about something, I know it's okay, that sounds bad. But like if I have anxiety about it, I know it's probably good. Which makes sense. That does make sense. Because I get anxiety about like everything. But like for example, backpacking, like a few weeks before I was like, ooh, like I'm like really anxious about it. But look how like amazing. I learned so much from that and it was like awesome. Australia, I'm scared and I'm anxious, but I know it's gonna be incredible. And like that's really pushing myself too. Like I'm moving across the country with okay, not even the country. I'm moving to like the other side of the world.
I was like, we ain't going to Vancouver.
I'm moving to Vancouver, guys. No, I'm going across the world with, not exactly enough money in my bank account to survive if I didn't get a job. And I've never lived away from my parents for 5 months. But I know it's going to be great. I know it's going to make me mature. I know I'm going to learn a lot. So I'm doing it, and I want to get out of the winter, so there's that too. This one
thing I read is that being nervous and being excited are the same feeling internally. It's just how you perceive it in your mind. Huh. When you're nervous and when you're excited, you get butterflies in your stomach. You kind of get that feeling, but in your mind, it's how you perceive it. Are you excited? Are you like looking forward to it? Are you nervous? Like you just don't like know what to do. So one of the things that I read in this book is that whenever you feel nervous, try to consciously turn those feelings into feeling excited. Instead of being like, oh, I'm nervous because I might not find a job, go, I'm really excited to move and I can't wait to start looking and finding a job.
Huh. Guys, I'm learning just as much as you are. That's interesting.
But if you really think about it, like when I get nervous, like you get that feeling in your stomach, you're like, but when you're excited, it's the same thing. You're like that, but instead you're looking at the goal and you're like, I'm ready to like get this thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I do when I'm starting to, feel nervous or feel anxious about something. And I guess that helps me to kind of relax about it.
It's really weird.
What?
When you were showing your excitement, talking about being excited, the first thing that came to my head was Resort Night Mondays. I'm like, getting excited, Resort Night. I don't know why.
Okay. But I do get excited for those.
Oh, yeah, those are great. But anyways, yeah, back to pushing yourself, not Resort Night Mondays. That could be a whole different podcast, stories about Resort Night. But when you push yourself, you'll definitely learn the most. So whether that be through experience or through, I know most of our listeners are in school, push yourself out in school too. Like, join a club that you wouldn't normally join. You'll learn a lot. You'll experience a lot. Or for me, I really pushed myself with studying. Like, don't slack off. Push yourself to your limits, and you'll learn and experience so much more. Like, for me, I pushed myself so hard with my school and my studying that now I have such a strong drive. So, like, when I'm, like, for example, when I'm an employee, like, if things, like, I get everything done because I have such a drive and I have such a good, like, habit. or I don't even know how to put it. Just like having a good study routine and being so driven to study made me driven to do things that I don't necessarily always want to do. So like as an employer, I'm a good employee because like I don't want to clean the dishes, but I'm so used to making myself study and making myself learn in school and pushing myself in that sense that like as an employee now, like no matter what, I push myself to my limits, which is great because I get a lot of benefits from it. Other people get benefits from it. I learn a lot. But then at the same time, like sometimes you push yourself too much.
I think another thing is like discomfort.
Yeah.
I think a big discomfort thing that people are like really scared of is talking to new people.
I know.
Talking
get
to
that.
strangers.
I go up to random, like literally today, there was this group of 15-year-old girls sitting at a booth, and I didn't take their order. I didn't serve them or anything. Like, they don't know who I am at all. I was in the back doing dishes. And I just walked up to their table and was like, you guys are all so pretty. I was like, I just thought you should know that. And they were like, oh my God, thank you so much. And like so many people I hang out with will be like, did you see that person? They were so pretty. I'm like, why didn't you go up to them and tell them? Like, you literally would have made their day. And they're like, no, that's so scary and awkward.
Yeah, with that, I think people want to like really anxious about it because like they'll feel like they're like being judged.
Yeah.
Like they'll think that the person that they're approaching will think they're weird for talking to them. One, like I don't really care what people think of me to an extent, and I don't know, like whenever someone comes and talks to me, it could be just anything. Like, oh hey, like I saw you doing that. Like I was flying my drone a couple of days ago, and this one guy came and talked to me about it and like asked me questions, and it felt kind of good because he was asking like what I was like an expert at.
Yeah. And, like, when you have a new interaction with someone, it honestly makes your day.
I agree. Unless they're, like, crazy, but...
Yeah. Or even, like, guys, like, sometimes, like working at Kate Spade one time, someone came in. Literally, it was this man. And he was just like, hi, like, I walked by and saw you working. I just wanted to say that you are so beautiful. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. And he was like, okay, have a great day. And he just walked away. Like, he wasn't trying to hit on me or anything. He just genuinely was like, you're a really beautiful person. And then just walked away. And, like, so many people feel those things but are too scared to do it. And I'm like, you could easily make this world and make this such a better place just by doing a simple thing. Or saying hi. Or smiling.
Yeah. When I go and talk to, like, random strangers, before I talk, when I talk to them, I'll just think of what I'm going to say in my mind. And then I will think to myself, if someone came and said that to me, would I be, like, scared or turned off? Or would I just, like, enjoy that someone came and talked to me?
Yeah.
And I mean, as long as you're doing like a friendly and it's like a positive thing you're saying to, like, no one's gonna be mad if you come and say they look good.
No, and like I understand because like don't get me wrong, sometimes when I walk up to random people, yeah, I'm kind of nervous, I'm kind of awkward, feel like, oh my God, they're gonna think I'm so weird. But then in the end, I know like, no, it's not, and like you're probably gonna make them really happy. For instance, today, my friend came into the coffee shop I work at. And literally some lady sat next to her and she just said, hi, how are you today? Like, what have you been up to? How's the weather's crazy, huh? Just had some small talk with her. Before the lady left, she bought my friend apple fritter and a coffee and just said, thank you so much for interacting with me today. And just left. Like, little things like that. Just push yourself a little and you can make this place so much better. You'll make yourself so much better because, like, it's a great skill to have to be able to easily communicate. Even think of, like, interviews. Like, interviews do not scare me whatsoever because I'm so used to, like, talking to random people, like, talking about myself, talking about whatever, like, and people, like, push yourself in interviews, too. Don't get so nervous. They're just trying to get to know you. This is totally off topic, but, like, that's another way that you can push yourself out of your comfort zone. Same with what you're saying about nervous and excitement. In that sense, I think I do that without really knowing. Like, if I'm, like, nervous for an interview, I just think, like, you can tell them all the great things on your resume. You can, like, meet this new person. You can probably learn a lot from them. Okay, go. And then you walk in, and I'm just like, hey, like, I'm Mackenzie. Like, I was a manager. What were you doing? How'd you get into it? Like, ask them questions, too. Always ask questions in an interview. For me, like, my go-to question I ask is, what makes you most happy during your day working here?
Yeah, something similar. Like, about them enjoying their job.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And they're like, no one's ever asked me that. I've never thought about that.
Also, when you're talking to strangers, like, you really don't know, like, what's going through their mind. Like, they could be having a really rough day.
Yeah.
And then you compliment them, or you ask them how they're doing, or you know, maybe someone forgot it's their birthday and you go and talk to them like, oh, it's my birthday, and then you just have a good time. Like, you really just don't know what's going through people's minds, and sometimes just saying hey can like really improve someone's well-being.
Like, you don't know what's going on with their day or their life, and like, you just simply pushing yourself and making yourself uncomfortable to do that could have literally, not to be dramatic, but like saved a life, like saved someone's like mentality or mental state. Like, you really don't know. Like, anyone can fake a smile.
Maybe you'll make a friend.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, oh, perfect example. I was so awkward. I was so nervous. I was so scared to start talking to Alana, because I was like, dude, this girl is not going to want to talk to me. Like, oh my God, this is like, I have to DM her. Oh my God. And then it was like, we've actually made plans. I pushed myself and continued talking to her and like was like, I really like your stuff. Like, please don't think I'm weird. And then we actually worked out, because then she asked me for dinner. And I was like, oh my God, wow, okay, cool. And then I was so, like, not nervous, but I was definitely, like, anxious for dinner. Because I was like, what if she thinks I'm weird? Like, what if she doesn't like me? But I was like, know what? Like, no, like, you're cool. Just go. Have fun. And I got really excited for it. And now, like, I have a totally new friend. And, like, she's so cool.
I have a quick example, too. A couple months ago, I was buying this drone off this guy from Kijiji, which is, like, Craigslist for Canada. But I was sending him money, and my money was taking forever to go through. So we just went and like grabbed coffee, or like grabbed breakfast actually, while it was like we were waiting for the money to transfer. And then we just like got talking. We were like in similar fields, obviously, because he was selling me camera equipment.
Yeah.
And we were talking, and it was just like I was really fascinated by the things he was doing. And now we stay in touch all the time, and I ask him tons of questions about photography and videography, and yeah, just from grabbing a little bite to eat.
Or even I can think of my best friend, Sid. Like, we've known each other. This would probably be, our 4th year knowing each other now. We didn't become best friends till last year. Like, the first 2 years, I thought she was so cool. And I was like, this girl's so cool. Like, she lives in Seattle. Like, I want to be friends with her, but I was too scared. And then this year, or the summer that passed, I was like, I'm going to be best friends with this girl. Like, I know that we would be really good friends. Like, she's my person. Literally, I just made the effort and, like, was like, she likes you. Like, just go for it. Now she's my absolute best friend. I could not imagine my life without her. I talk to her, like, you see me and said, like, she's literally my wife. Like, and I could have had that for 3 years instead of this year if I just wasn't scared.
It's all mindset. It's all in your mind. Most things are. It's just how you perceive things, how you interact with people.
Yeah, and like, you'll benefit from pushing yourself in so many ways, like with having, like, meeting Sid from it, like having someone that I can rant to, or like being able to help her. I would have never had that.
Yeah. Even if it's a negative, say it turns out awful.
Yeah.
It's a lesson.
Yeah, you learn from everything.
You would have never known.
You learn from literally every mistake you make.
You learn more from your failures than your successes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a pretty famous quote, but
yeah,
it's true.
It's so true. Like, when I think of everything I've learned, most of them are things I did wrong, and now I know.
Do it right.
Do it right. Exactly. And I wouldn't have known those things if I didn't try them in the first place.
So, moral of the story, get out of your comfort zone, talk to people, seek discomfort.
For me, I like to make myself uncomfortable once a day, whether that's, it could literally be anything. So for me, it could be talking to a stranger. It could be eating something different, doing a different workout. Usually it's like spreading an act of kindness. So whether it be like, I don't know, like sometimes if I'm getting coffee, I'll pay for the person behind me. And then like, that's kind of uncomfy because it's like some old man and he could think I'm hitting on him or something, but it's just being nice. Or I'll just like, sometimes, like, if you go to the grocery store and there's a grandma in front of me, I'll, like, unload her cart for her. And that's also kind of awkward because sometimes grandmas yell at you for that kind of thing, but you won't know until you try. So try doing that. Make yourself uncomfortable, like, once a day. And that's how you know you're learning and growing.
Well, Kenz, I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
It's 9:51. Guys, I normally go to bed at, like, 8:45 to 9 p.m.
So we're signing off. Go follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Kyle's been killing our social media game.
Yeah, we've posted like highlights and fun stuff of this podcast, little snippets to keep you engaged.
Yeah, you can see our goofy selves every day.
Exactly. Anyways, I'm Kyle. I'm 21 and I'm sleepy.
I'm Kenz. I'm 19. I look like I'm 12, and I'm even sleepier.